Good morning to a brand new day. Time to learn and games to play. Learning things is so much fun. Learning is good for everyone.
Good morning, third grade. My name is Mrs. Nix, and I am so excited to be here with you today to support you as you become amazing thinkers, readers, and writers. Have you seen this book, How I Spent My Summer by Mark Teague? He does a great job of sharing his adventures for the out west. So he's telling a story about his summer vacation. It's quite an adventure and a kind of a bit of a tall tale. If you like adventures, this would be a book that you would love to check out. And it kind of goes with our theme this week, personal narratives. It's written from the student's perspective. All right, so check it out on Sora. Let's start our morning today. So good morning, it's Tuesday. We're gonna go through, we're gonna warm up our brains, we're gonna look at a little bit of grammar, and then we're gonna jump back into that personal narrative that I just made mention of. Are you ready? Okay, let's look at those high frequency words. Remember, those are words you're gonna come across often in your reading and writing, and especially this week, as we're going through and practicing our writing, it's really important that we're able to spell those words correctly. So if there's a word here today that you say, you know what, I might need to practice that one. Jot it down on a little Post-it note and practice it at home. Okay, here we go. Let's go through and let's just read them together. Any, at, are, ate, around, away, as, back, ask, be. Great job, third grade. I knew that you knew all of those words. Now remember, we've been reviewing these words, so this is 10 new words today. They're from the previous weeks that we've been practicing them. So you'll have 10 new words every single day. Great job. So let's go down and let's talk a little bit about some grammar. Now these are things that, again, we're reviewing. You would have been doing them in your classrooms. But I just want to talk about them and review them here because they lead right into our writing. This one today, we're going to talk about the difference between the different types of sentences that you can write. We have statements, and I'm very positive that we all know what a statement is. It's just a simple sentence, and it ends with a period. The second one that we have that we can talk about is a question. That's when we're asking something, and it ends with a question mark. Now here's the last one, and this one we might be a little less familiar with. It's called a command. It does end with a period, but it also is giving us just a little bit of, it's telling us what to do. So let's look at these three sentences and see if we can match them up. Here we go. Let's read the first one. We can help you put the groceries away. Well, it sounds like it's a simple sentence, and it really sounds like just a statement because we're not asking if we can put them, we're just telling you that we can do it. So we would simply put a period at the end. That's our statement. Let's try the second one. Put the cans of food on the shelves. Are we asking to put the cans of food on the shelves? No. And are we assuming that they're talking to you, the person, right? Yeah, so that is actually a command. We're telling someone, put the cans of food on the shelves. And it ends with a period, just like that. Nicely done. And our last one, do you want me to put the apples away? There's our question, because we're asking, do you want the apples to be put away? Do you want me to put the apples away? And it's going to end with a question mark. Nicely done, third grade. So we just went through and we practiced a little bit of those grammar that we've been practicing. Let's look at and start talking about that personal narrative. Yesterday, we started talking about the writing process. So I want us to go through and talk a little bit today. Maybe I'm going to even pull this over just a bit, because when we go through and we talk about that writing process, we're going to go through each of these pieces: plan, draft, revise, edit, and publish. We're going to go through each of those. Yesterday, we talked about the planning stage, and that was coming up with all of those ideas. Today, we're going to talk about the draft. Okay, so let's look real quick at an example. Yesterday, we talked about that plan stage, and we talked about having a graphic organizer to organize all of our thoughts. So here's a graphic organizer, and it has a lot of thoughts written on it. And they're in sequence, in sequential order. So let's look through and see what we've got written. First, family camping trip, okay? And then we've got lake. I can tell you, I know where this is going. Can you make an idea of where this is headed? Yeah, it kind of sounds like it's the first family camping trip at the lake. Then we've got set up tents, ate, told stories. Okay, so these are some things that are happening on that camping trip. How about here? Strange noises outside of tent. Ooh, does that kind of sound like a problem that maybe could be happening? And then what happens at the end? Squirrels ate all my snacks. Okay, so here is a plan, just like what we were talking about yesterday. Excuse me, do you have a plan? Do you have a graphic organizer of your personal narrative? Great. Now let's start talking about the next piece. The next piece means that we're actually going to write a rough draft. So what does that look like? Let's talk about it. So in a draft, we're going to start with writing a beginning, right? That's the place that we always want to start. And here are some things to think about. Use that first person point of view because it's a personal narrative. We want to make sure that it's from your perspective. We want to describe where the story takes place. Just like any other story, we need to talk about the setting. We want to make sure that we're including some interesting details. And then to keep the pace and to keep things organized, use those time order words and phrases. Here's another piece that really you can start to include in the draft for your personal narrative is writing dialogue. This gives you the opportunity to show your thoughts and feelings to your readers. How are you feeling during this experience? Well, use some dialogue. Then it comes to the middle, writing the middle. This is where we're going to introduce the problem in the story. Again, you can use that realistic dialogue and some descriptive details and a well-paced sequence of events. That's going to help keep you organized. I keep talking about sequence of events, so speaking of that, I want to encourage you to use those time order words. So here are some examples. Words like first, next, finally, last summer. That's going to keep your readers knowing what you're talking about. And then finally, write that draft using your graphic organizer. So pull out that graphic organizer, look at it, and put it into writing. So here is our rough draft. This is probably one of the most important pieces when we talk about a rough draft is that it's not going to be pretty. It's not going to be fantastic. It's going to just get those ideas down on paper. So don't worry about grammar. Don't worry about spelling. Get the ideas down. Because I'm going to guarantee as we read today's rough draft, you're going to find a few minor errors, and that's okay. All right, let's go through and let's read about a camping surprise. Okay. A camping surprise. Last summer, my family and I went on our first camping trip. We visited a lake near our town. I have always wanted to go camping. I was really tired when I went to sleep that night. First, we set up our tent and ate the sandwiches we brought. We sang lively songs and told terrifying stories. The next morning, strange noises woke me up. Didn't make a sound. I dared to go outside. I saw squirrels were dropping acorns on the roof of the tent. A minute later, I tripped over my backpack. I had left it out by mistake, and raccoons had ripped it open in the night. I will never make that mistake again. They had stolen nuts, fruit, and potato chips. So, boys and girls, as you go through and you're writing that rough draft, did you hear that I had some mistakes in there? Absolutely. That's okay. You're going to go through and get all of your ideas written down. I want to close out with just a little reminder because today you're going to be working on that personal narrative. And so putting those ideas down, what is that personal narrative? Let's go back and review. A personal narrative tells a true story from the writer's life. It uses words such as I, me, we, my. Remember all of those first-person pronouns. It has a beginning, a middle, and an end. It uses time order words to tell the events in order, like first, next, then, last summer. We saw some of these in the writing just now. It includes dialogue, or words of the people that were in the story. And finally, it shares the writer's feelings about the experience. So when we think about all of these pieces and how we're going to go back and be able to apply that into our own writing, I just want to really encourage you to think about, to plan, and to organize your personal narrative. Get out those notebooks, get out those papers, and just write. I know you can do it. Don't be afraid. And it's okay. Maybe you're not sure how you want to start out your story. That's okay. Write several different drafts. I look forward to seeing you back here tomorrow so we can start talking about revisions. So thanks for hanging out with me this morning as you're getting ready for school this morning. Remember, you're responsible for your learning success. So listen, ask questions, and share your ideas, because together we can do so much more. You guys have a great day. Be kind to all of your classmates, and I will see you back here tomorrow. Have a good one. Bye-bye.
Good morning to a brand new day. Time to learn and games to play. Learning things is so much fun. Learning is good for everyone.